Have you ever dropped $500 within 2 seconds on cardboard and instantly thought, holy, I'll let you fill in the blank there. What did I just do? Hi, my name is Sam from Loomis Card Craze, where I buy, sell, trade all sorts of Pokemon cards, baseball cards, football, any sorts of cards you can think of. I like to collect and I like to sell. And this is my journey on that. All right, let's dive on in. We're going to talk about booster boxes and elite trainer boxes today. First, we're going to start with Scarlet Violet Base. The main reason I wanted to start with Scarlet Violet Base, it is the first one in the block that is expiring here soon. Kind of wanted to go through, talk about price, sales run, kind of what I'm looking at as I look. Is this a good buy? And I'll be honest, Scarlet Violet Base is not on my list right now as a good buy. As you can see, there are very few sales. Sorry, I'll click the right button here. There are very few sales that occurred this weekend as the price continues to increase. As we look at the active listings, though, there are not very many below that 300 mark threshold. Right? Count as kind of I scroll by, there's about 20 boxes that are available under the $300 threshold mark. So as we look at them and you look at what's cheapest here, you got $267, including shipping, from a zero feedback, zero sales seller. That's not necessarily somewhere I would put my money. So as we move on to Paldea Evolved, and again, these are strictly my opinions. You feel free to spend your money however you so choose. However, for me, Scarlet Violet Base, there isn't very many large-scale investable cards in comparison to other sets, like Paldea Evolved, for instance. Paldea Evolved continues to go up, it continues to rise in price, and demand continues to be there as well. Not quite sure what's going on with the 3-month chart here, but when you look at the 1-month chart, we are continuing to see 1-2 sales a day at that 400, 415, 420 threshold. So when you look at it today there's been no sales, but yesterday there was 2 sales, one for 415 and one for 456. So again, not bad from a sell-through perspective. Although Paldea Evolved, I don't know if that's where I would put my money right now. When you're talking $500 after taxes and all of those pieces, that's a lot of money to put into a booster box that is at $500. Now, again, there's no telling what it's going to do when it runs out of print in April, May time frame. This could very much age poorly, and Paldea Evolved could be a $1,000 booster box by the end of the year. We just don't know. It's all speculation and all guess at this point. But if we scroll down to the very bottom here of page 1, you're still under $600 mark, and that's what I have it set at 50 listings per page. So you're talking, there's still 50 under $600. When you go to page 2 here, that's when it starts to increase in price. But again, that's just what is actively on the market now. There could be 30, 40 more boxes put on the market within the next week. We don't know. That's just where it is currently at. And that's why I don't necessarily think Paldea Evolved is the best purchase right now compared to other sets and anything you could put your money into. Obsidian Flames. I know a lot of people don't like Obsidian Flames. I do. I really love the art on the Charizard, and the way it looks in general is just, I enjoy the set. There's not much depth to this set, but it is one that I enjoy, and I do have a few in my collection as well. So as we look through here, I'm going to go to the month. It does look like there was a buyout, and I use the term buyout loosely, right? We don't know if it was a streamer or what happened, but on the 11th, 12 boxes sold compared to the average 1-2 a day. So if we go through here, if we go back to the 11th here, 11 boxes from the same seller sold. How you know it's the same seller is if there was multiple sellers, it would be on multiple lines. So same seller, 11 boxes. Not bad, right? So price stays about the same, market stays the same because, again, they were all the same price. But when you look at the depth of what is available, there is still a significant amount of Obsidian Flames under that $350 mark. There's 15 boxes So Obsidian Flames might not be the worst place to put your money. It's not necessarily the best, right? But Obsidian Flames is something that I'm looking at and may potentially get more of. 151 Elite Trainer Box. Now, let me tell you, that's out of my price range. Now, as much as I would love to have a 151 ETB, I don't necessarily think that is in the cards right now, as they continue selling at quite a decent velocity and volume for the price. You can see it was in a straight incline, and then it kind of teetered off. It's still going up a little bit, and there's still a few sales here and there. Your average daily sold is 2 a day, and right now there's only 58 on the market, which is very low when you come to a set like this, especially when it's going out of print in in early spring, so April, May timeframe. So when you look here, there's one that's marked $260 with 200 shipping. Don't necessarily know what that's about. It's a zero sales seller with 0% feedback. So I don't know if I'd recommend buying that one. But if you look down, your most quantity here is 13, and that's at $500. So that $500 is probably going to be the market price when you're looking at the next 3 to 4 weeks, with the sell through of 1 to 2 a day. And boxes, again, increasingly get put on the market, and that'll be a good stopping point for the next couple weeks. And then it's going to, again, you can see $500. It's going to then periodically increase, which, 50 listings, your highest is $1,000. Somebody's shooting their shot, right? Might as well throw it up there so it's listed. That's a very interesting take and a way to do it, in my opinion. But 151 ETBs, it's 151, right? What else do we have to say on that one? Paradox Rift Booster Box. Not selling the greatest, about 1 a day. As you can see, there's some days where there's higher sell-through rate. Take the 11th, so last Thursday, there were 11 sold. Which, the math doesn't math, right? No, I can't math. There were 5 sold on the 11th. So yes, the math does math. Looking at 275, 260. Again, I'm just screen clicking here. This is information you can go through and find on your own as well if you want to look at it more in depth. Paradox Rift has somewhat of a depth of a roster of cards, but it's not the greatest, right? So if you want to look into Paradox Rift, I encourage you to do your own research on that set. I'll be honest, I don't know how I feel about that one at the current price range. Like any other booster box, I can see it going to $400 or $500, but is that where I would put my money? I don't necessarily know as I look at other options. Paldean Fates, I'm going to back up a little bit, 6 months. Paldean Fates is near its all-time high. Actually, I think it just surpassed it. Yeah, it just surpassed its near-time high, and the sales are still there. They're still average about 2 a day. As Paldean Fates goes out of rotation here in the next few months, I'll be very curious to see what this set does. It's not necessarily a place I would put my money, personally, but I'll be very curious to see how it goes over the next several months and what it looks like this summer. And the last one we're going to talk about is Temporal Forces. Temporal Forces as well, the booster boxes still continue to see a decent average daily sold rate, but Temporal Forces has quite a bit of quantity still on hand. So if you're looking at wanting to add this to your collection, I think now is probably the best time to purchase one, as I don't necessarily see it going back down. It may fluctuate 5-10% as all sets do, right? So it may go back to 250 and then rebound back up. We don't necessarily know, but I can't imagine as it goes out of print, it's going to get significantly cheaper. So if you are looking to add any of these sets we talked about today to your collection, I would look at doing that sooner rather than later. In this video, we're going to talk about sealed product for Pokemon. When I look at spending money on a sealed investment to hold long term, what do I look at? Why do I look at it? Why do I give myself a heart attack when I go to purchase these products? $300 on a booster box or an Elite Trainer box? That's a lot of money. So how do I make these decisions? This is going to be a very brief overview, and I'll be honest, this is my first screen clicker video. So bear with me. It's not the greatest quality, and it's probably not the greatest information, but we're learning, we're growing, and we're going to continue doing this journey. Thanks for being here. Drop a like, do a subscribe. I can't English today, apparently. Thanks for being here, and we'll switch over to the clicker side. Well, if you liked the video, if you thought that information was helpful whatsoever, please drop a like, drop a subscribe, and please stay tuned for the next video. As always, my TCG Player and eBay link are in the descriptions. I continue to add inventory daily. Soon you'll be able to watch a video tomorrow on February 18th. Sorry, math is hard. Describing a few cards I picked up this weekend at a local card show. So take a look, and if you have any interest, send me a message, go ahead and purchase, and let's make some deals happen. Thanks for being here, guys.